Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My device didn't work when I was introduced, so I wasn't sure how I was introduced. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the organizers, Genç MÜSİAD and ASEAN, and the rest of the organizers of this very, very important event for inviting me all the way to Malaysia to share some of my views and some of my experience with you. I am very proud and privileged to be in Istanbul. It's today, this is my 7th time in Istanbul. I have to say this is my favorite city in the world. And I think one of the main things about what has happened in Turkey for the past 10 years recently, the most beautiful changes that the Muslim world has seen in Turkey has been very, very inspirational. And we really believe and hope that Turkey will be continue to be a beacon of the Muslim faith for the rest of the Muslim world for now and the future. I was actually given a topic about how to create a Qanaat economy, and what I can only share with you is what I have experienced in my own work that I do. I'm a social entrepreneur. I have a media communication and consultancy company, and the projects that we do are inspired by Islamic values. I created this company right after my college education in America. And one of the reasons I created my company that does communication projects inspired by Islamic values is because when I was in America, I was quite jealous of the media that is controlled by the Jewish and the Christian organizations. Their media, in terms of advertising, in terms of the books, are very well produced, they're beautiful, and we also see all of these lifestyle ideals coming out of other major religions such as Zen, Buddhism, yoga, that has managed to create lifestyle concepts that is followed by millions around the world, this idea of Zen meditation, and they have managed to create this concept and brands that basically support this movement. And I looked far and low on where are the Islamic lifestyle brands before, and I couldn't find any. And I think this is one of the areas that we are not strong at, which is communication, branding, and marketing. Because we know for a fact that Islam is perfect. It has a system that was set 1400 years ago to give power and revolution for the Ummah then during Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time. And it also, we must believe that it has the power to empower us now. It has what it takes to give a revolution to the state of the world that we have now. But what we must do is actually communicate the real Islam to the hearts of the people. And this is not happening. In the West, in the mainstream world, there is this institution called advertising. Its heartland, its HQ is at Madison Avenue in New York. This is where they create desire for us to feel like we don't have enough, and it will never be enough. This is the desire that fuels capitalism. But the thing is, the opposite of that, which is this reality of contentment, this reality that we have, what we need already, the reality that we are sustained by our Rabb, our sustainer, that everything is okay, and what we have to do is to make the best of what we have in the moment. This reality is not communicated in a very attractive manner, or it's not communicated at all. We are all consumed by, we are all influenced by the Western idea of what it means to be successful, and you know what you need to be happy. So as a communication person, I can't help but to be influenced by the idea that we need to create own brands, lifestyle brands that actually portrays Islam in a very fresh, contemporary, and mainstream manner. I would like to share with you an experiment that I did in Malaysia. We do a lot of projects. We try to revive different things, from the zakat system to the idea of what it means to be fasting. In Malaysia, people tend to eat more during Ramadan than normal days. So we try to reverse that. But one of the main things that my company is known for is actually our halal projects. In 2002, we did an experiment. We took one word from the Quran, the word halal, and we tried to take it out of the Quran, out from the discourses of the religious circles, and put it into another. We create a new circle comprised of businessmen, multinationals, scientists, and consumer groups. And we created the word halal industry. And what happened was, we actually talked about an Islamic concept in a mainstream manner, in a language that people understand. We create projects for tourists and travelers to know where to find halal foods when they go to Japan, to New Zealand, to Australia. And we tried to find food that is not typically associated with the Islamic world. We tried to compile halal Chinese food, halal Mexican food, halal French food, just to break this idea that halal means Muslim food. We managed to get airlines to have more halal meals when we travel in all their systems. And basically what we found was, generally speaking, the Muslim world, we are consuming halal food produced by the non-Muslim world. The biggest halal food manufacturer in the world at the moment is Nestle, which is based in Switzerland. The biggest halal meat producers in the world are the likes of Argentina, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, Uruguay. And the GCC countries, for example, are net importer of food. We don't produce halal food. Turkey produces, I understand, so does Iran and Pakistan, but it's not distributed in the global distribution system. So what we did was basically created a story in a simple manner so people understand what's going on. And the halal food industry, we realized, turned out to be worth $2.3 trillion a year. That's a big industry, and to combine it with the Islamic finance is actually an industry that cannot be avoided or ignored by anyone in the world. And in our training and consultancy, we realized that it's the non-Muslims who's actually moving forward really fast to change their procedures to halal system practices, because to them it's all about the money. And I'm starting to wonder, where are the Muslim players in the global halal industry? There's not many that's playing in that level. But there are producers. We need to expand our marketing and distribution system. So what I'm trying to get at, actually, I believe that the Quran has the answer to all of the world's problems at the moment, being it being a financial crisis, to the environmental crisis, to this whole world trends of overconsumption. But what is needed is actually a reinterpretation or a revolution in the way we communicate these messages. It needs to be communicated along the sides of, for example, the fair trade movement that provides dignity and fairness to the growers of coffee, for example. If you know Starbucks, they do this. You know, the movement of recycling goods or the sustainable movement. These are all concepts that are in line with Islamic faith. And Muslims, we have to be able to speak in the language that the world out there will understand. Because once they understand the values and the reason we have our halal, our Islamic finance, is all about fairness, it's about trust, it's about sharing risk. In halal, it's not just the fact that it's food that is clean and is good for you, but it's also because we are we are here to protect the rights of the animals. They need to be slaughtered and killed in the humane way, in the most humane way and gentle manner. Muslims are we have our own code of ethics on how to deal with the environment. So the main thing I'm trying to say here is that the answers for the global problems, we believe, lies in the Quran and the system of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the reason we are in a rut, the reason we are in trouble is because we have not living this system. But the thing is, this is the time I am very encouraged by the likes of Young MÜSİAD, and I'm very encouraged by the demographics of the Muslim world. We're close to 2 billion people, and we are a very, very young market. And this is the market, the youngsters, the 30 and below, are the ones who will rule the world. In fact, this is the age of the people. Governments fall because of people. And this is the age where technology, the cost of technology has come down, that Muslims, like-minded Muslims, are able to connect around the world instantly. So I believe this is a very, very important time. I think it's a very, very exciting time for us to create global structures and movements that companies and consumers who are like-minded can plug into and can combine together and support this Qanat economy, the economy of moderation, the economy of enough, of fairness. And one additional thing before I close, I know I'm the last speaker, so you might be already very tired. The last thing I would like to say is, apart from all the players to do well in their role, work double hard now to change the way the Muslims are in at the moment, is actually that we need to create their own institution, Islamic institutions, financial institutions, new economic institutions, but we need to have our own media and lifestyle brands. The capitalists, they have their own institutions from, The Economist, Financial Times, this whole thing, they support a particular worldview. Our worldview, rizq, in Islam, is actually quite different. But we know this, we are taught this in the Quran, but we need a better understanding, and most importantly, we need to communicate the message in a manner that people understand. I think that is key, and I think that's how we're supposed to talk about Islam anyways. And Islam is not, we are trying hard to make Islam not for the world. It's not, we have Islam, which is religion, and then we have the rest of our lives, like business and shopping and eating and, and fashion and stuff like that. Islam is not separate. It is actually a fundamental lifestyle that flourishes out to the way that will control the way we behave even, and the way we do practices, from bigger systems to Islamic finance and zakat system, to smaller details like the way we speak and the way we eat. It's a complete system, and I think it's time, with the rise of technology, to actually push forward this new way of thinking and new lifestyle. And if people, and even non-Muslims, can understand the values that Islam brings to the world, we have a better chance of being accepted, and even for them to actually put Islam in a bigger and higher level. And I think I will end there. Thank you very much. God bless. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.